It's officially my time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another reading vlog where today I am finally reading for the first time ever A Court of Thorns and Roses, aka ACOTAR, aka one of the biggest books I've been hearing about since I have started getting back into reading about a year and a half ago. Before I even start talking about anything else, I do want to point out that I am not going to hold back my thoughts on this book. This is not spoiler free. This is very much spoiler intended. Like, only watch this if you have read the book or you don't plan on reading it. Like, this is not, I'm not gonna be quiet. The yapper in me is gonna come out tenfold and we're both gonna have to deal with it. But now that the people who don't want spoilers are good and have left, I'm sorry, come back at a later date. Let me introduce you to this book. Or reintroduce you. You've probably heard of this before. I mean, wait, I kind of already did introduce it, didn't I? I feel like I don't even need to give you the premise of this book. I feel like you know. Like, that is how it has 2 million reviews on Goodreads, you guys. Like, this book is, it blows my mind how big of a loved book this is, and it also makes me scared how big of a loved book it is. Nonetheless, last night I read the first 2 chapters of A Court of Thorn and Roses, and here are my starting thoughts. As always, went into this book blind, only knowing the little things from the internet. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh my god, it's fantasy. Oh my god, the romance. That's all that I know. However, I didn't realize that we would be starting with hunting in the woods. I fear as if I should have read the back. I am really, 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 really good at picking up books without reading the back of them. I thought this book was about a magical creature, and maybe it still is because there was that wolf, but like more magical, I'm 2 chapters in. Okay, I'm 2 chapters in, but I thought, is this Feyre? Is it pronounced Feyre? I think it's pronounced Feyre. I thought that she was a magical creature. Where I got that idea, I have no idea, but I genuinely thought that she had magical powers. So going into it, I'm already just a little bit disappointed that we don't have magical Feyre. But that might be my own dang fault. Like, this could be a me issue. It could be a lot more like mortality based with our main character, and then there's like magical side creatures. I have no idea. Nonetheless, since I have read those 2 chapters, and since I've been up this morning, all I wanted to do is pick this book up and read more of it, which for me is a weird concept because normally I don't get that feeling until I'm later in a book. But I'm so intrigued. And I want to get like the actual big plot of the book that I want to just sit down and eat this entire book right now. Like brain eat it. But I can't do that. However, I do have some time to read before I have other stuff I need to do. So we are gonna go spend some time reading A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And I fully intend on popping in literally whenever I have a brain thought, a good brain bubble. I'm gonna share it with you. Because once again, this is not spoiler free. I am saying every single unhinged, funny, weird, out of pocket, normal thing that comes to my brain, and you're gonna hear about them. Because I thought this would be fun. But I'm gonna go read A Court of Thorns and Roses. There's not just a single thorn. Yeah, I'm gonna find out more about what this is about because I'm 2 chapters in and I wanna know. I wanna know. I'm gonna go find out. Okay, so first off, I cannot be asked to get my microphone out, so please ignore that. But I'm still here. I just finished reading chapter 4. I have chapter 5 next. And I completely understand what's happening. I completely like comprehend what I'm reading. And I get that this wolf dude just came for her and now she's leaving. But number one, why were those 2 options to begin with? Like, if the thing is a life for life, why would she go live with them? Well, I get that she doesn't want to die. Okay, I get that part. But like, why is that an option? To have them live in their lands as repayment? Like, I don't get it, but maybe I'll get it when they get there more. Like, maybe it's a me issue. Maybe it's a me issue and I missed something. I'm also low-key kind of glad that we're not hanging out in the village anymore because her sisters are kind of mean, and I think the entire family dynamic of Feyre's family is pissing me off. It really is. And I'm really glad we're not with them anymore because, like, what? You feel me? The only other thought I have right now is that at this point, I don't get the hype. Fantasy, high fantasy world. I'm a fantasy lover. I'm a fantasy enjoyer. I get behind fantasy all the time. But this, so far, is definitely been seen before. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, maybe not the killing part, but the bad guy coming to take the good person away. Like, this happens in a lot of books. But I might be being, like, way too harsh, right? Like, this could 100% be a, oh my gosh, stop being so harsh on this book. Just because everybody loves it doesn't mean it's, like, brand new, you know? But I am gonna keep reading for a little bit. Those were just like my baby thoughts, and I didn't feel like stopping every 3 seconds to tell you them, so that's where we're at now. We'll see. But so far, it's there, you know? It's here, it's queer, it's actually not queer, it's actually very straight. Okay, I'm not done with I think I'm on chapter 6. I don't even know. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, I'm on chapter 6. I'm not done. I just finished like the first part before the ending. And listen, I knew there was a romance in this, and I'm pretty dang sure it's between, well, I know it's between Feyre and I don't know his name yet. Tamlin? That's not the right one, is it? That's not who it is. Is it Rysand? Or something like that? I don't know, but whoever the one who took her from the village said her life in the let me English really quickly. And as for the girl, she stays unharmed. End of discussion. Her life in that hovel was hell enough. Dude, he's barely known her for like 2 days if she really like went to sleep that long on their journey, which I love that we didn't have to spend that whole freaking journey out in the forest. I was like, really? But like, the frick, dude? You told me they're not in love? That's my current thought process. I'm gonna read again. Whoa, okay. Please ignore my hair. I didn't realize that was what it looked like. I need to fix that. Anyhow, welcome back to day 2 of reading ACOTAR. Yesterday I got to page 112, which is about, I think Goodreads said it was like 24% of the way through the book, which would make sense because it's like 400 freaking pages. But that is reading up to chapter 13. Chapter 13 is the next chapter I have to read. And I totally meant to talk with you guys last night after I read, 80-ish pages since the last time we talked. But there really wasn't much to talk about, okay? This book is following kind of like a premise that I've seen before, right? Lady gets taken to Scary Castle, starts to find out it's not as scary as she realizes, right? That's kind of the track that we're going down. But there's something about this one that feels more compelling, I think. Like, I'm very interested to read this. What I'm reading right now is reminding me of a series I read earlier this year is when I finished it. It's by Eliza Rain. I cannot remember the series name for the life of me. But the girl is taken to this kingdom and ends up falling in love with the prince, right? But it's very much the same type of vibe as in, oh, it's not as scary and kind of like it here. But in that series, I did not want to read about that. I wanted them to go on adventures, and because that was what it started out as them adventuring, and I wanted to get back to that. So this is a very refreshing change of pace because I don't know. I'm okay with her staying in the castle and not leaving and what's happening, you know? I also completely refuse to believe that her and Tamlin are not going to get together. Are you kidding me? That has to be the romance. It has to be. I don't know if I was right about Rysand or if that's from another freaking book series. I'm going to have to look it up because now I feel stupid. But, dude, I haven't even met this Rysand character yet if he's supposed to be here. And I'm low-key pissed about it. So I'm going to Google it right now and I'm going to come to this realization with you. Okay, all I googled was ACOTAR love interest because I don't want to know more than that. Oh my god, I just freaking Tamlin. No, it says Rysand. What? Should name is ACOTAR. Did his name change? I am so confused, bro. I'm so confused. I don't want to know more. I don't want to know more. I don't want to know more. However, what the fuck? Okay, they are so it's giving not enemies to lovers, but like adversaries to lovers, okay? I love their vibes. Anyways, I am liking this so far. I understand the appeal. So I'm gonna go continue to read it because I need to, honestly. It feels like a need in my bones. It's part of my bone marrow now. That was a really weird comparison. I apologize. But I am gonna go back to reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know how far I'll get. I was hoping to finish this by tomorrow, but We'll see, folks. We will see, ladies and gentlemen. So it has been quite a while since we have talked about our wonderful little book here, A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's currently under my arm. Court of Thorns and Roses. But I thought it was time for an official update. According to Goodreads, I am a little under halfway through the book. I just finished chapter 21, which was the entire thing of the Great Rite and that sphere of whatever the heck. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. That thing where he went in the woods and it was weird and what was that, honestly? And I don't really know how I feel right now. I'm gonna be honest. It might be because I've put this book down for like a day and a half. Like I haven't read it in quite some time. But I don't really know. I remember the last time I was reading this, I just wanted to keep reading. Like it's an enthralling book. I am totally immersed in the story. Like I want to know what happens. I like the characters. I like the growth. I like how Tamlin took Feyre to that pond with the magical stardust water. That was sweet. The painting aspect of Feyre is amazing. I love that she has like, a passion. I think that gives the character so much more rather than, oh, she's a hunter taken and da 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 da. Like most of the time I read books that have this kind of thing in it where the princess or the maiden is taken to the enemy kingdom. She doesn't really have a passion. She's just there. But I think this did a wonderful job of giving the character more character depth, if that makes sense. The only really like critique that I have at this moment is that I'm really confused about the love interest because I did Google it again and got my final answer that her and Tamlin don't end up together, but I really want them to kiss, okay? I really do. Why would you put two characters in the positions that these people are in if they're not meant to have a romantic relationship? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, I don't really care what happens in the other books. I just want them to be together now, and I want them to have a happy ever after. And I know that's not going to happen because she gets with Rhysand or whatever the heck his name is. And I could be very biased because I haven't reached that point of the book yet where, she's with Rhysand and we get introduced to Rhysand. Is it Rhysand? I don't even know how to say his name, dude. I don't even know how to say his name. Tamlin's easier to say. I don't know who the heck Rhysand is. Unless he's that guy that she ran into at the Great Rite that saved her from those weird people. Oh, it could be him. I could get behind that. Could I? I don't know. He was sweet, but I don't know if I could get behind that. I kind of like her and Tamlin. But that's just in my little fairy whimsical dreams. Anyways, little under halfway. I'm liking it so far. It's something. I like the little trio that we got going on with Lucian, Tamlin, and Feyre. Also, if I am pronouncing any of their names incorrectly, please freaking tell me because I didn't Google it. I'm just going with what my brain thinks is right, and most of the time I don't talk out loud about characters this much. So I guess that's kind of like my midway update. A little under halfway, but yeah, I'm gonna go continue to read. That's kind of what we're doing here. I can give you an update and then I go read more, but I'm ready to dive back in. I want to get the feels again, the feel for the book. It's been like a day, so my brain's not really in there anymore, but I am ready to immerse myself again in the story, so that's what I'm gonna go do, and I will keep you updated if anything happens. Okay, so I've only read 4 chapters since we've last seen each other, but I read them in a laundromat, so I couldn't tell you my thoughts right away, which is why we're kind of meeting for an entire debrief session again. I am now on chapter 26, that is my next chapter, but we just went through the summer solstice, and oh my gosh, dude, I love Tamlin and Feyre. I want them to be together. I don't know who this Rhysand creature is, but can he just not show up? Like, I know the whole entire series is practically already written, but like, can we not? Can it be Tamlin, please? He's so sweet to her. I can't find a good angle. He's so sweet to her, and it warms my heart. I don't know who Rhysand is. I don't know what Rhysand is gonna do, but please, just let them be together. Not Rhysand, Tamlin. He's so sweet with her, and I love it. It makes me a little bit like happy sad. Anyhow, they finally kissed, and I'm very happy about it. Freaking finally. It was so cute. It was so cute, and I'm very happy. But I am gonna go read more because I am invested. I just wanted to tell you that I was very happy that her and Tamlin kissed, and that I don't know who the fuck Rhysand is, or why the fuck he isn't here 230 pages into the book. Yeah, 230 pages into the book and he's not here. He's not important. Can he stay away? Don't ruin my romance. This is adorable and I love it. Please, I beg you. Sarah J. Maas, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me in my fantasy heart. My fantasy heart. Don't do this to me. Dude, I've literally only read one more chapter. Chapter 27. is next. Can you see that? But I was right. That was Rysand. And now I see the appeal of why people like them together. Enemies to lovers, for real, for real. But her and Tamlin are so sweet. I'm still stuck on her and Tamlin. I kinda like Rysand though. He's funny. But like rude. Do I like it? I don't know. I have only read one chapter of their interactions though, so I obviously have a little bit more to go. What, 150 pages? Yeah, about. I'm gonna read more because I'm invested. He sent her away? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why would he do that? Like, okay, logically, I know why he did it, but like, why? My romance, dude. My romance. Why would he send her away? That's not gonna make her safer, you dumb shit. Also, shouldn't she be listening to that thing in the forest, the Surl or whatever? They stay with the High Fae. She's not really staying with the High Fae. Did we forget about that, Feyre? I think we might have forgotten. Also, I feel like this, I literally haven't even finished the chapter. I'm mid-chapter. But I feel like this was a way for Miss Sarah, our author, to have Feyre leave the production of the Spring Court, so that Rhysand or someone from the Night Court could steal her. I don't think she's gonna get home. And if she does get home, what's the point? What is the point? What is the actual point? What is the genuine point? Why would we go months there and then what's the point? What is the point? What's the point of any of it? This is like a 5-book series. The second book is like 700 freaking pages. What is the actual point? I don't want to go back to Nesta and the dad and the other sister, the nicer one, Elaine. I don't want to go back to that. What is the point? What is the point? What is the point? What is the actual point? New day. Still can't be bothered to find my microphone, but I just finished chapter 31. Chapter 32 is next. Feyre just got back to, not Autumn, to the Spring Court Castle, and no one's there. Oh no. But oh my god, am I glad. I'm actually glad that we went back to like her old life, but not really her old life because Tamlin like set them up for freaking life, you know, like they're chilling. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But, you know, I do wonder if, you know how they lost their glamour? The father and Elaine, because Nesta was never under it. With them losing their glamour, I wonder if that happened as the castle was being attacked because nobody's there. You know what I'm saying? Like Tamlin was knocked down, his power died or something. I don't know. Just a speculation. But I am glad that she went home. And I am glad that it was only for 3 chapters. Otherwise, I would have lost my marbles. And I am glad that we didn't dwell on anything we didn't need to dwell on. The pacing of that was beautiful. And I'm so glad that Miss Sarah J. Maas did not add anything else in there. Because nothing else needed to be there. It was exactly what it needed to be. And I need to know. Okay, I'm not in romance time right now. I am in plot time. Where is Tamlin and what the heck happened to the Spring Court? What happened to the Spring Court? Huh, Feyre? What'd you do? What happened? I mean, she didn't do it, but I'm gonna go find out what happened to the Spring Court. She just had to tell him he loved her. She just had to tell him that she loved him. No! Girl, 3 words. 3 fucking words that you could have spoken like her. Dude, I'm literally in the middle of a paragraph, bro. What do you mean that's all she had to say? Oh no. So a while ago, I was reading ACOTAR, right, obviously, and I just finished reading chapter 35. Chapter 36 is next, and we are at the point in the book where she is stuck under the mountain. Tamlin knows she's there. Everyone knows she's there. And we just found out that she's going to be given the first trial in this next chapter, right? But I had to step away from this book because it is getting to the point where I'm like, oh my god, I don't care. Unfortunately, I don't care. Don't get me wrong. I love the characters, okay? I do. I love the characters. And I love where we started. But I've reached the point in this book where I'm like, can we get to the point? Okay? Because right now, this feels like filler information, you know, like I don't know why she has to go through these 3 trials and there's the riddle. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I don't get it, and it might mean something in the bigger picture when I read more in the series, and I'm very aware of that. But right now I'm at a boredom state with this book as much as I hate to say that. But I do officially only have 100 pages left, like literally down to the page. I have 100 pages left. I'm just kind of here, you know? I'm just here. I truly have been enjoying this book, right? There's nothing like bad about it, but it didn't make me wonder, you know, because I've been sitting with my thoughts on this book for like 5-6 hours now while I've been doing other stuff. It made me wonder why this book is so incredibly loved and why I've heard such good things about it, you know? Like what is the pull factor, I guess, is what I was wondering. And the more I thought about it, the more that I realized that people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is a great series for people who have never read fantasy before." Oh, the dots are connecting. I have read fantasy before. I am a fantasy enthusiast. I have 3 separate bookshelves in my library, because that's what my family calls it, is our library, dedicated to fantasy. I am a very avid reader of fantasy, a very avid consumer of fantasy. I love reading about mythical creatures, and I love reading the genre, which I think might be part of the reason why I am not falling completely in love with this book. Like, I'm not completely psyched about it, okay? Don't get me wrong. It's definitely interesting, but as I've said, as we've been talking about this book, this is a plot I have seen before, okay? Broad aspect wise, this is a plot that I have seen before. With the whole, you know, the girl gets taken from her village and taken to this scary place, and she finds out the scary place isn't as scary as it intends to be, and then the scary dude has a mission he's gotta go on, but he's not the scary dude, and they fall in love, and da 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 da. And I get it, okay? I get the appeal. I have read 4 or 5 different series like that just for the fact of I wanted banter, okay? I understand. I did not want banter going into this. Was that part of the appeal? Oh my god, there's romance. Sure. I'm a romantasy girly as much as the next girly, okay? Love romantasy, love romance, love fantasy, love them together. But I thought this was going to be a lot more plot driven. I truly was going into this series thinking that the first book would be at least a 4.5, if not a 5-star. Like, that is genuinely how I went into it, just because of how loved this series is. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't know where it's going to fall on my scale yet, okay, because I have 100 pages left. But with the way I rate books, this is not a 5. Can tell you that much. This is not gonna be a 5. And I feel like it's important to point out that when I reached the like halfway point of this book, I told myself, okay, stop putting so much pressure on this book because everybody else loves it. You know, the more that I have read over the past like year and a half that I have gotten super into reading again, the more that I've realized the books that I love, not a lot of people like. I have a really weird book taste, apparently. And I think that's okay. You know, I like what I like. You like what you like. Reading is subjective. You've heard it before. But I'm disappointed that I don't like this because I want to understand the hype. You know, I want to get it, but I'm not getting it. All of that to say, I was hoping to finish this tonight. I don't know if I will, but I am gonna go and read it some more because I do want to finish it, and I do want to know where the book goes. You know, I do want to know where the series goes. I don't intend on stopping after this book, but this is not going to be one of those series that I have to binge read right away. That's kind of where I'm thinking. That's where my head's at, in case you were wondering. I figured it would be a good time to do a check-in of, oh my gosh, she's got 100 pages left. So, I would also just like to point out, while I've been reading this, have not cracked the spine. Do you know how hard that has been? Do you know how hard that has been? For the record, not a spine cracker hater. I have cracked spines of books before, but for whatever reason, it felt wrong to crack this one. Mostly because my mom is going to pick it up after I'm reading it, and I know that she'll kick my butt if the spine is cracked. So, but please stop binding your books like this. It makes them so hard to read without cracking the spine, and I don't want my book to look gross. You know, this is one of those series I display on my shelf because it's a fun background for when I film stuff. I'm gonna go back into reading. We're on chapter 36, trial number 1 of 3. Let's go read about this freaking under the mountain. Whoa, I'm red. Hello. Sorry, the lighting's playing tricks on me. But I was very, very hesitant about her and Rhysand at first, because I'm like, oh my god, her and Tamlin are so sweet. Dude, Tamlin can go to hell. Tamlin can go to literal hell. He hasn't tried to visit her. He has not acknowledged her existence, has not said a word to her, denied knowing her, even after she went into this under the freaking mountain to save not only his life, but the life of all of his freaking people. He doesn't even say that he knows her. That is so completely just wrong and messed up in so many ways. But Rhysand literally just told them to stop touching her and to stop being a dick to her. And they're like, okay, I'm here for it. I'm on a new party train. It's the Rhysand party train. I am the conductor. Toot toot! He helped her survive the task. Are you kidding me? Dude, Tamlin's an ass. Are you kidding me? I know that Lucian said, oh, he's just being quiet so he doesn't like, so a Martha, evil lady can't use him against you and can't use her against him. But like, you're stuck under this freaking mountain. Y'all are gonna die anyway, right? Like, supposedly. He just freaking saved her after believing in her for the first one, and she won by herself. And he freaking, made her burn her hand, that's not great, but saved her and then walked her through leaving the freaking throne weird room where this task took place without crying in front of her. I don't care what I said earlier. Oh, Rhysand this, Rhysand that. Love him. He may have done the wrong thing, and he may have been the first person to do the wrong thing in like letting the Amantha Mara girl run this place. I think he's good, and this may be my bad guy gets the girl trope loving self come out and take over this, but through his actions and the lack of actions on Mr. Tamlin's part, I can get behind this. I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this. With that being said, I am in the middle of chapter 40. I have like 2 pages after chapter 40. But once I finish chapter 40, I have 5 chapters left. Just 5. I know we're gonna do the 3rd task, obviously. But past that, I don't know how we're gonna end. Anyways, love Rhysand, hate Tamlin, Feyre, I don't know. I don't hate her as a character. I like her as a character. She doesn't cry too much, and she doesn't complain, and she doesn't go on and on about how she hates Rhysand. That makes me so happy. Oh my god. Normally in this type of book, like with these tropes where you read it and she's with the bad guy, the main female character will go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about how much she hates the bad guy. She doesn't. Even in her inner monologue, she doesn't. And I love that. And I'm so glad that she wasn't written that way, because then I would find her infuriating. But she doesn't. At least not too much for my taste, And she doesn't complain about the whole binding thing either. Like, not that badly. And I'm here for it. And she doesn't annoy me, so I'm chilling. But those are my thoughts. 5 chapters left. I'm gonna finish this tonight. I can't stop. I'm reading the 3rd trial, and I was like, oh, she's got this for killing 3 fairies. Is she gonna do it? No, there's literally no way, right? There's no way. Let's find out. There's no way. Sorry, my phone ran out of storage. We back and we vibing. I'm back. I need to find out what happens. Oh my god. Dude, is that part of the thing that we don't know, is the fact that if she kills him, he doesn't die because they're in love? And she has to say I love you. She still hasn't said I love you, has she? She needs to say I love you. Heart of Stone? Heart of Stone, oh my god, he can't be killed. Dude, just kill her. Just kill him. You're not gonna actually kill him, just stab him. Never felt his heartbeat. Is he like a ghost or some shit? Stab him. Okay, at least she said I loved him. At least she said I love you before she stabbed him. That's good. We could have lost our high faking. He can't die. Oh my god. He can't die. Oh my god. Okay, my phone is literally battling, like, storage war right now. So, I'm gonna stop talking to you guys, and I'm gonna finish the last 3 chapters of this, and then we'll reconvene. Unless anything, like, super big happens. This might have been the super big moment, though. He can't die! Okay, sorry, I'm back again. You're telling me that after she stabbed him, and he was fine. Okay, he's fine. He's healed. He's better now. Rhysand is the one who came to help her? Are you kidding me? I don't care if Tamlin's in pain. I don't care if he's still rather be stabbed. You are a literal... You can't die. You can't die. Nothing can kill you. You have a heart of stone. And apparently that also goes with your personality, because you are being a little gremlin goblin and not helping the woman who just went through 3 freaking trials to save not only you, not only your people, but the good of all the freaking fae in the world. And she's not even one of you. She is not even one of you. And you can't get up off your lazy butt to help her? I no longer like Tamlin. I no longer love Tamlin. I no longer like the romance. I want him, respectfully, grow up. Not die, but grow up. Sand is better than you. Oh my god. It's 2 minutes later. So, his wound wasn't healed. It was healing slowly. I formally apologize, Tamlin. That one's my bad. I haven't even finished the last chapter. I'm on the last chapter. I only have the last chapter left. But I don't even want to finish it. I don't. Wanna know why? They made her high-fae. Why? I hate that. I hate when they do that. Don't give her magical powers. She's not those to humans, bro. Like, I get, oh, they all gave the magical little drops of sunlight and stuff, and now she's a magical fae. No. No. That doesn't... No. Oh my god, I'm so... I'm finishing this chapter and then we'll talk. Oh my god. That's how they end it. That's how they end it. I'm done. Hi, it is the next morning. Welcome to the official A Court of Thorns and Roses debrief session. I am gonna be so real with you when I say that my thoughts on this book are going to disappoint a lot of you, but as they say, you know, let's go into this with clear minds. Reading is subjective, and some people like stuff, and these same people might not like other things that I like, and it's gonna be okay, and I'm not gonna receive backlash for how much I didn't like this. Oh gosh. Listen, I know it's my irrational fear that's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna hate you. The internet's gonna hate you because you didn't like one book. I gotta get over it. And this is me getting over it and telling you my complete thoughts on The Court of Thorns and Roses. Pretty much everything that I have said that I can remember that I was saying while reading this book reigns true. I love the characters in this book. I love the chemistry, both friendship and relationship-wise between the characters. I understand why we like Rhysand so much. I kind of hate Tamlin. Gonna be real. I don't care that they're having their happily ever after. I don't think he deserves it. She 110 preserves it. She 110 deserves it. Okay, she went through trials. She went back into this fairy kingdom where she knew she was probably going to end up dead. And now we're here. And I am gonna be so honest when I say did not vibe with the ending at all. Like, I'm glad they defeated Amanda Rathara, or whatever the actual heck her name was. I'm so glad that we have defeated her and she's no longer a part of this realm, right? That's great. Great for us. But what is the plot of the other 4 books? Is there 4 books? What is the plot gonna be? I don't want character study. I want plot driven. And I'm a little worried that I've lost the plot. And like I didn't know what this was going in. Or maybe a lot of people felt this way. I don't know. I also really hate that they made her a high fae. I hate that. I hate when the only out is, oh, the only way we could save you is to make you a fairy. Why? Like, I understand. Now they can live together forever. And they're both immortal and da 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 da. But why? Literally, why? That was like her one, I don't want to say redeeming quality because I liked her as a character outside of the fact that she was a human, but that was like her whole dang thing, dude. And now she has magic. Now I have to believe that she has magic. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I get it. Okay, they saved her. It was this big ritualistic thing. Everybody sacrificed part of their sun drop golden little liquid drops to save her. Great. But why? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, literally why? I also hate that Tamlin didn't stick up for her at all in the last 200 pages of this since Feyre went under the mountain. He couldn't give two freaking pigeons about her. I'm trying not to swear. He couldn't give her two freaking pigeons. He couldn't give her the light of day. Couldn't even acknowledge her existence until she was gone. Oh, no! And this is what really made me mad. The one time he acknowledged her was when they were in that closet and kissing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, I love the physical aspect of romantic relationships in books as much as the next person. Okay, I read dark romance. I read romance all the time. But they hadn't seen each other, like actually seen and talked to each other in 2.5, going on 3 months. And that is what they choose to do? That made me so mad beyond like anything. It made me so mad that that is what it made me so mad. And sure, it gave Rhysand another chance to shine because he was able to save her, and then Tamlin wasn't killed, and Feyre wasn't killed. Yay, great, no one was killed. But like, are you kidding me? Are you actually freaking kidding me, dude? I think I've gotten all my I hate this book out. Because I don't hate this book. I want to make that very clear. I don't have a hatred against this book. It just wasn't what I was expecting. I think I said this last night where I was like, I forgot that the people who were liking this was the people who were getting introduced to the fantasy genre. And I understand. If I read this a year and a half ago, like last January, when I was getting into reading again and I just wanted something to pick up. And if I picked this up then, I can guarantee you this would be like a 4, 4.5, maybe even a 5-star. Back then I rated everything 5 stars, okay? And I cannot be bothered to go back and change it. If I read this back then, I probably would have loved it, would have gobbled it up, would have loved every little, part about it. But this is me a year and a bit later where I read fantasy on the regular. At least one fantasy a month, if not more. And this was just not up to my par. This was not up to what I wanted. And the reason I picked this one up, this series by Sarah J. Maas up first, rather than Throne of Glass, because Throne of Glass has a much more interesting premise to me, is that I have heard a couple content creators say, bigger content creators, not like me content creator, who was like, oh, Sarah J. Maas, she has like a lot of world building, and if you're not used to world building, you should probably start with ACOTAR, and then go read Throne of Glass, because Throne of Glass is this like insane web of blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I don't know how familiar I am with world building. I don't know how familiar I am with world building. I feel like I'm a lot more character based, so I should probably start with ACOTAR. I am now realizing that maybe that wasn't the right thing to do because I don't really like ACOTAR. I don't hate it. I want to make that very clear. I don't hate ACOTAR. I liked it. I did. But I feel like I would have liked Throne of Glass more. And I'm still gonna continue reading the series because I bought it all. And I want to know what happens, and I like the characters enough, I might DNF it later, like not finish the series, we'll see. Those are big books, those were like a commitment. This alone was a commitment for me. This is a 416-page novel. I'm usually in like the 300 range, but anyways, I'm rambling. And it's not helpful rambling. It's not book related. I mean, it is book related rambling, but not what I should be talking about. So I'm gonna move on now. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas is going to get a 3-star from me. I was in between a 3 and a 3.5, but I literally went through and scrolled through every book that I've read in the past year and a half and looked at what I was rating them, and I'm like, no, this doesn't really get to sit with my 3.5s because I didn't like it as much as my other 3.5s, and that's the conclusion that I came to. If you've never seen my rating system before, my rating system is a little bit different. A 3-star for me is an of average book. I liked it and I recommend it. You should read it, but it wasn't my favorite. And that is exactly what this was. I liked it. It was good, but it wasn't my favorite. And there were a couple points where I was like, why did we do this? And I'm bored. Can we go on? Liked it, but it's not my favorite. That is our debrief session of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I'm glad I read it. Bottom line is I'm glad I read it. But yeah, with that is where we're going to end today. Reading one book. I can't be bothered to pick up any notes. No, I was never planning on reading all of them at one sitting. I don't know why I'm acting like I was. No, I just wanted to read the first one, get introduced to it, and that would be fun to do a reading vlog on it because of how loved it is. And oh my gosh, I probably should have picked a different book if everybody loves it. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on our reading adventure. I hope that your books and your wonderful little worlds are being so nice and so kind and you're having so much fun. And just as I have fun in mine most of the time. And I hope that they continue to be fun and lighthearted and just everything that you want in a book until next Wednesday. And with that, I'll see you then. Bye!